Welcome to Personal Web Tutor. The problem we have today, it says my son Timothy throws a ball straight up into the air at a velocity of 29.4 meters per second. What is the ball's velocity and height at 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and 6 seconds? So here we go. The first thing we have is we know that the initial velocity is equal to 29.4, and that's meters per second, and that is going up. Now we also know that the acceleration, which is equal to gravity, which equals 9.8 meters per second squared, and that is going down. So I'm going to choose up as positive and down as negative. And the two equations that come to my mind is we got V final, which is equal to V initial plus acceleration times time. Now for us, since our acceleration is gravity and gravity is negative, we're going to put that into the equation. So we got V final equals V initial minus GT. So that's one equation. We're going to use that equation to get the velocities at the different time periods. The other equation we got is kind of a long one, but it is y, because it's in the up and down direction. So y final is equal to y initial plus the initial velocity times t plus 1/2 at squared. So remember that g is our acceleration, and we're going down, so it's negative, so I'm going to rewrite that one. And I'm also going to say, hey, y initial, that's 0. So rewriting that, we get the y final is equal to v initial times t minus 1/2 gt squared. And again, the reason why we are saying y initial is 0 is we are going to assume that my son is throwing the ball from the ground. In reality, he's probably throwing it from about 1 meter, but we're just going to, for easiness sake, say 0. So now I'm going to put in my values that I know. Remember, we're going to look for the final velocity, and it's equal to 29.4 meters per second minus 9.8 meters per second squared times t. And over here we've got y final is equal to 29.4 meters per second times t minus 9.8. Well, actually, we're going to do 1/2. So it is 4.9 meters per second squared t squared. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little chart just to make this easy. And I'm going to have the time, the final velocity, and the displacement. And that's going to be at each of these time intervals. So we got 1 at 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and 6 seconds. Now to find the final velocity here at each of these times, we're going to take this time and we're going to substitute it into this equation here. And as we substitute t is equal to 1 into this equation, and t equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we're going to get these final velocities. So after 1 second, the velocity stoops down to 19.6, and then 9.8, 0, 9.8, 19.6, and once again 29.4. And all of these are in meters per second. Now for the height, the y value here, we're going to substitute these times into this equation here. And when we do that, we get 24.5, 39.2, 44.1, 39.2 again, 24.5 again, and then 0. Notice how this value and this value is the same, these values are the same, and this is the highest. That's also when the velocity is at 0. So at the highest point, the velocity is equal to 0. And if you have any questions, please feel free to come over to our website. It's at personalwebtutor.com. And you notice that we've got a link here where you can ask a question. So if you'd like, go ahead and click on that, and it'll bring you to a form. Here's the form, and you can put in your information up here, but then put your question down here. And you never know, maybe your next question will be my next video. Thank you.